Moving right along to our next speaker, Mohammed, I'm going to ask you to take the microphone. Mohammed is joining us today from University of Twente. Twente, I think I've pronounced that correctly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I appreciate you joining, Mohammed, and over to you.
Thank you very much. And I hope you can see my presentation now.
Yep, we can. Well, I can see it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for organizing this amazing event. And yeah, I am currently alumni of Faculty of Geo-information Science and Earth Observation at ITC in the Netherlands. And currently I am looking for a PhD positions to lead my research, which I'm going to discuss today. So my research is about to create a dashboard that could lead to a better quality compliance of OpenStreetMap, specifically for humanitarian actions. And yeah, my potential advisor is from the Faculty of Geo-information Science, is Dr. Rob Lemons. It's also with me today. Okay, so why I want to do this research and why it is very important, I will discuss this today. Quality assessment of OpenStreetMap is like an endless research, and even I did my research in my MSc. And if you go to Scopus or go to any research journals, you see endless research about OpenStreetMap, and it's unending. And then there's an external quality measures and internal quality measures, and it's really data driven and context driven. Like you have to have some context behind why you want to assess the quality and why you want to visualize it. And so what's the solution to it is still an issue because standardization of quality of OpenStreetMap is challenging, because one of the quality of OpenStreetMap is open and free. And if we put a standard over it, it loses its value, let's say. And then the visualization of the quality is quite difficult because there's a lot of semantic noise, and maybe the user don't understand that where the quality is missing and where the quality is not missing. So my job here is to contextualize to disaster response and preparedness. And I want to develop a dashboard that we could visualize the OpenStreetMap quality and then monitor it through time. And then we see which areas are needed to be mapped for the purpose of humanitarian response or disaster or response or preparedness. It's also very context driven, will be very context driven, and will be respect to different types of disasters. So how this is going to happen, how I'm planning to do that, is I will take humanitarian context and standards, that what is needed in the map and for the humanitarian context using different kinds of qualitative and quantitative methods. And then I will take the regional context to put a regional lens over it. And there's a metadata. We have all the metadata, that where it is coming from, the lineage, and how the data is informed in the OpenStreetMap, and how we can assess it. And finally, the external quality is globally available external remote sensing data that is available online, and it should be global because at the end we need a map or a dashboard that can cover the whole world, and then we can see where there's missing data. So what we will get the output would be missing contextual information that is connected really to humanitarian context and regional context, and missing spatial features, that if there is a missing spatial features. And then how old is the data? How stale is the data? And finally, the bonus is how accurate these three predictions are that I mentioned it above. This will give humanitarian responders a good overview on how they can produce data and where they can produce data, and how often they should produce data in the OpenStreetMap. And it will give a very good insight to researchers as well that are looking into these kinds of quality assessment techniques. So this is what I said, but this is in much more detail. So I will skip that because of the time. So how the example output would look like, this is just part of my MSc research, and this kind of, it will look like something like this, that where there is missing data or missing information or missing quality index, and we should add it, or information is old, or we need the data about the hospitals, or we need the data about any road that is missing, and it's very crucial to get one place to another, and how the humanitarian response can respond to it. So in conclusion, this research, number one, will include what kind of spatial and non-spatial information are required for humanitarian response, and how they are, secondly, and how they are changed through time, Thirdly, to develop different methods to monitor and visualize the quality of OpenStreetMap. That how different methods, as mentioned in the previous slide, that how these methods combined can give you a very good overview of quality of OSM. And it should be number 4, it should be especially invariant. And that if I look to Africa, if I look to Asia, it gives me different context and it gives me what is required at that place. Fifth, the geospatial dashboard style, that there are different geospatial dashboard styles available, and we can use that, and which is the best one for our purposes. Finally, method to reduce the semantic noise, and this is quite challenging, and this is very interesting as well, and also very needed as well. So thank you very much, and you can always download this presentation, and you can always collaborate with me, as I'm currently looking for PhD positions, and if you want to just collaborate with my research that is ongoing, and let me know about things that you find interesting, and you can also ask questions during my LinkedIn. I will hold it for 3 seconds if you can scan the barcode. Okay, so finally, this is our small mapping community in Enschede in the Netherlands. So yeah, thank you very much.
Mohammed, thank you very much for that. You've actually got a little bit more time. So there was a slide that you skipped. I'm going to give you the grace if you want to just quickly talk about that for 1 minute. Because yeah, you just jumped over it, but you do have a little bit of time, and I'd love to hear just a like minute worth on this.
Okay, just let me know when the minute is over. Okay, so so it's basically defining this into this. So basically, what I want to input is that we need all these four inputs that can be increased, that can be more inputs, and can be less inputs. But these are the inputs that I want to work with and to start the research. And first is the humanitarian context and standard that we can find out through different kinds of interviews and different kinds of analysis. But the outputs would be, it's very clear from here now that there are 4 kinds of different outputs, and then there's an accuracy level of the predictions. These predictions can be correlated to the inputs, and the inputs really are interconnected and would be interconnected to each other. Let's say we have salience of spatial features. It can be related to metadata, and it can be related to regional variables and how old it can be according to the variables. So then the salience of contextual information as well is similar to that we are connected to different inputs. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I just wanted to give you the chance to wrap that up and bang on time. So very much appreciate that. I know there's some people in the hot team, particularly around M&E, that are going to be very interested in reaching out to you and speaking to you more about what you're doing. So thanks very much for that, Mohammed. We appreciate your contributions and particularly exploring that ultimate question of like, what is quality? So at this stage, I'm going to hand over, Dana, sorry, point me in the right direction, but we're having a pre-recorded video for the next lightning talk in French. I really wanted to try and introduce this in French, but it would absolutely out me as living in France and speaking French terribly. So I'm going to hand over in English to the pre-recorded presentation.